I call the member for Mitchell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Assistant Minister for Defence. I remind the Minister of this statement of the Leader of the Opposition of 23 January this year, and I quote, "What I won't do is join in and start attacking our own military personnel. I, for one, don't want to see our military being used as some sort of political football." Minister, how does that compare with the statements made in Senate estimates by the Shadow Minister for Defence yesterday and the Leader of the Opposition's response today, and why is this matter important with respect to the morale of the men and women of our defence forces?
I call the Assistant Minister for Defence.
Thank you, Speaker. Let me thank the member of Mitchell for his question and acknowledge as a former Army Reserve officer a man with deep interest in the military. It's now a matter of national attention that Senator Conroy has opened his account as Labor's defence spokesman with a grubby and premeditated slur against one of our most respected three-star Lieutenant General officers, accusing him of a political cover-up, no less. 6 months of near total silence from the opposition's Shadow Defence Minister, and he decides the best way to come out and support those who support us is to sling mud at a general's face. Well, let me tell you what the military says. It says the standard you walk past is the standard you accept. And what the nation wants to know, and what this parliament wants to know, Leader of the Opposition, is whether you accept the comments. Madam Speaker, what the nation wants to know is whether the Leader of the Opposition accepts the comments made by the defence spokesman, and if not, what is the Leader of the Opposition going to do about it? Now, the Leader of the Opposition was asked today, do you personally think Conroy went too far? And the Leader of the Opposition's response, the senator has withdrawn his remarks, and that speaks for himself. And that speaks for himself. Well, I say, Madam Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition, the only thing that speaks for itself is that the Leader of the Opposition's abject failure to bring into line his own Shadow Defence Minister is as unacceptable as the original comments themselves. And I say again, Madam Speaker, to the Leader of the Opposition, will he look at the Labor Defence Minister, the one member for Hunter, Joel Fitzgibbon, when he was asked today, what about your regard for Stephen Conroy? And his response, Stephen Conroy is doing an excellent job as a Shadow Defence Minister.
The Minister will resume his seat. I call the Manager of Opposition Business.
Madam Speaker, I quote a page you're familiar with, page 555 of practice. As it is clear from the above examples, it is not in order for ministers to be questioned on opposition policies for which they are not responsible. The Speaker has been critical of the use of phrases at the end of questions, such as "are any threats to," that could be viewed as intended to allow ministers to canvass opposition.
Will resume his seat. There's no point of order. I call the assistant. I call. I said there is no point of order. I said you have a second one.
Second point of order.
I hear the Manager of Opposition Business.
In that instance, your ruling must be saying that the minister is responsible for the issues that he's now talking about.
I didn't make a ruling. I said there was no point of order. I call the Assistant Defence Minister. I call the Assistant Minister for Defence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If that was enough, Senator Conroy was given another chance to apologise. And you know what? He couldn't manage it. He couldn't man up and manage it. He even went as far to say the people who should apologise, apparently, is the Australian government. Let me say, our serving men and women deserve a lot better than this sort of grubby attack. They deserve an opposition leader who mans up, an opposition leader who actually says, I don't condone this behaviour. If an opposition leader had some courage, he would demand that Senator Conroy publicly apologise for this outrageous remarks. If the Leader of the Opposition takes no action, he reduces himself to exactly the same level as Senator Conroy. And let's face it, if Senator Conroy was in the army, he'd be peeling potatoes about right now.